a severe concussion, numerous lacerations. There was a strange shard of glass lodged in the forearm, and the patient is delirious.
A transfer to Manchester Asylum would be the most sensible course of action. It's the closest institution in the county.
Oh, I feel like a train wreck. Have they really transferred me to the asylum? The doctors have removed the shard, but my hand still throbs with pain. Why are we in the asylum? No tutorial, please. I'm on my feet, but just barely. I see that the asylum has kept its high residential standards. Someone's really eager to talk to me. I should answer before my head explodes. This is literally falling apart. Not a humane environment for the patients. That's for sure. Strengthen this if it is to slide at all. Either my strength has left me or this metal is sturdier than I thought.
Wait, you're in your cell? But if all the other patients are accounted for, then who could have...
Oh no. She murdered him in cold blood, and her eye says, I'm next.
Well, if it isn't the master detective. You're like a fly trapped in a spider's web. This is Alister's former cell. It must be fate. I should probably take this to Alister right now, but I can't resist. I'll get the key, and you and I can have a little fun. Don't go anywhere.
Charlotte inherited Dalimar's taste for violence. I have to get out of here and fast. Never lose an argument with yourself. Going nuts 101. 1001 straight jacket. Patience live for a dog's life. You cannot sugarcoat that. Yeah, they're going great on the puns, aren't they? Seems I've fallen in hard times, trapped in a cell, fiddling with loose screws. Whoever said sporks was a universal tool was dead one. Do the asylum doctors believe that this kind of literature helps with the recovery? Or one of the previous readers obviously found some personal truth in this quote. Sanity is not statistical. This is my handiwork. Even the drawn face of Alister Dalimar inspires fear. He's the man who will stop at nothing to obtain his goal. My automatic drawing session. Good thought. My hands are covered in wounds, and this water looks like a bacteria breeding pool. I'd rather avoid an infestation. Really? This is my handwriting, yet I have no recollection of drawing this. I evidently suffered some memory loss. A Manchester lunatic asylum named Manilia. Patient suffered excessive wounds and shock, which caused severe delusional behavior. Adopting the persona of an imaginary master detective, patient continually addressed the implausible paranormal activities at Ravenhearst estate. Patient is prescribed with auto-drawing sessions for trauma treatment. After all that happened, it's no wonder I was in a state of shock, but to label me delusional is insulting. Drat, what is that? What is a coin doing in there? This coin looks ancient, older than Alister. Alister, am I dreaming, or is this a vision? It started when I touched the coin. Why was Alister rummaging under the bed? I was lucky. If the shard had hit me anywhere else, I would have been long dead. Shard of unknown material extracted from the patient's forearm. The dreaded Ravenhearst Manor should be nothing but rubble now, but as long as Alister lives, it will be his seat of power. Count Monte Cristo. The other occupants of the cell had escaped fantasies. I just hope mine becomes a reality. If I'm to find out what Alister was meddling with under the bed, I have to break the hinge. But he was there just a minute ago. He was losing so much blood. How did he manage to crawl away? Door mechanism is within my reach, but out of view. I have to reflect on how to do this properly. Hints. I just hope this bed isn't heavy. I have to preserve my strength. A long night awaits me. They did make the darn thing heavy. Just one more push. Now let's see what Alister was doing under the bed. I dread the prospect of it, but I have to know. A secret passage? Well, my fears aside, the only way I can go is down. What is Alister doing down here? Alister expanded the cave. It must have taken a month to do it. I shouldn't go fumbling in the dark in Alister's hideout. Of course, a raven. What else could I have expected to find in the secret lair of my arch-nemesis? A bunny? Raven skeleton? This place reeks of Alister. A trunk is full of Alister's belongings. Some sort of alchemic device is connected to the Dalimar family tree. Blood of my blood unto my descendants. Transfer the liquid of life, so that my eye can follow their every step, whatever paths they may trek. Family was very important to Alister, but unfortunately for them, only as tools. Could Alister truly be this old? It turns out there's a lot I don't know about my arch-nemesis. The year 1594, after my first failure of grandiose magnitude, I decided to travel to the Orient in pursuit of wisdom and knowledge. Year 1603, in the mystic mountains of China, I spoke to the seers. In the year 1608, in the scorched deserts of Karakum, my inquiry confused and disturbed the oracles. Year 1613, in the wetlands beneath the Himalayas, the priests treated me with distrust. Year 1614, and all along the key was under my very nose, in England. Someone named Madame Fate possesses it. Is this the correct file? I better make up my mind. Time is against me. Victor Charles Alister. I was right, of course I was right. The apparatus must have been of great importance to Alister if he was willing to bleed for it. This is a genius invention, but knowing Alister Dalimar, he didn't intend it for the betterment of humanity. And it's all rather interesting, but if I don't find something to help me escape, it's all useless. Come all to Madame Fate's carnival. Returning to England, I started roaming the countryside in pursuit of the nomadic Fates carnival. They are an elusive sort, but I finally tracked them down. The beckoning of the key grows ever louder in my mind. While they're getting the games correct, of course, they are mixing their locations. The continuity is way off. I guess that's kind of what happens when it changes hands so many times. Scorpion lies scattered. Its secrets will be revealed when its parts are garnered. Alister and Abigail from Fate's Carnival. Abigail was my flesh and blood ticket into Madame Fate's carnival. She served her purpose, but the fool appears to be nurturing certain feelings for me. Alister's total disregard and contempt for anything other than his quest is bone-chilling. Not sure what to do there yet. Gonna break something. Well, you can't always be right, I suppose. I was right on that. Why was it being weird? Oh, okay. Plus. B? Okay. Corn? Oh, into the faucet. Another vision. They seem to trigger when I touch Alister's possessions. Are these the traces of his memory? Years have taken their toll on Alister's drawing. Some fine powder might restore them to their original state. The ritual that will fuse part of my soul with Thanatos is ready. It will serve me well. You almost have to admire Alister's determination. Almost. He was willing to sacrifice a part of his own soul for his quest. I'm glad this mechanical bird had a brief life. I didn't bring my I'm glad this mechanical bird had a brief life. I didn't bring my raven swatter. Better than new. I hope this will provide some means of escape and not another dead end. Alister was quite laborious during his stay. His treatments didn't consume much of his time, apparently. Well, you can't always be right, I suppose. Madame Fate's Ball of Fate. There's not much one can do when confined except stare at the same things every day and think. In a moment of clarity, it came to me that Madame Fate's Ball of Fate holds the power to absorb souls. These walls cannot hold me. I will regain my freedom soon. So this is the key that drove Alister to madness. Madame Fate's Ball of Fate. With a creepy doll in the background. The steam can melt my face off. In situations such as this, one needs a helping hand. The burn doll. Creepy. Did Alister foresee Victor's death, or did the line break before he perished? Too bad I cannot see where Gwendolyn and Alister are. He clutches the ball of fate like a drowning man clutches a log. Charlotte still hasn't found the key. I have more time than I thought, but not much. Ugh. My stomach turns at the sight of the grime on this plate and its origins. Brine blood. Ugh. Hospital time certainly does wonders for one's appearance. I almost wish I hadn't seen my reflection.
detective. Compliments of your new chef, Charlotte Dalimar.
I'm glad she's having so much fun, but soon I'll be much more than a cell-locked sitting duck. Finally, but this is just the first step. Escaping the scale will amount to nothing if I don't escape the asylum. I never thought I would walk the halls of the asylum again. Life works in mysterious ways. For a respected institution, this surely will let their standards go down the drain. It wasn't, though. It was... Whoa, what has gotten to these patients? Haven't they received their medication? My arm! I'm trying to escape. Please, someone stop it. A prime example of a renegade arm syndrome. Let's see if we can help him. Okay.
Oh, I've been looking all over for you. Don't you ever run away from me again.
The cell and far away, I tried calling it quack, 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 but the rubber duck never came back. Hello, rubber duck. Welcome back to the club. The time has come to drown in the tub.
Rubby doggy.
The clock has struck, Doc. Let's have those pills.
Apparently that's, it's that time of day. Charlotte must have done something to the doctors. Are you drooling?
No, no, no. You know I only take the blue ones. The others make me agitated. No, I tell you, only blue. Blue. I'll go crazy. Oh, that's it. Life is a blue circle. Like these pills. See, in order to find its corners, you need a map.
Incident avoided. Now I have to prevent complete disaster next to the asylum before Charlotte finds me. Such a neglect in the institution. The handles are so caked with rust that I doubt it will move. Security card must have fallen out of the orderly's pocket when he crawled away. Go, little crazy for your birthday. It's Friday the 13th, but we know that won't spoil your luck. It's your birthday. So take a break. Means that Charlotte completely ruined someone's birthday, all in a day's work, I guess. I like to see what's hidden inside the cake. It's way too suspicious. Maybe I can blow it away?
Hello! This is the Queen. Yes,
Was this really the Queen, or are the Dalimars playing a prank? Broken beyond any hope of repair. Poor man, he probably tried to reach safety, yet perished on the way. Nobody deserves to die like that. In she goes. Thankfully, she doesn't seem to be aware of my escape yet. A brochure on how not to go completely bonkers. 24 luxury cells. Are you looking for shelter? Does your mind need a cure? The asylum is the right place for you. Just check the brochure. Manchester Lunatic Asylum. Norfolk Avenue, 142 Manchester, Northwest England. Brochure on how not to go completely bonkers. Excellent marketing. Excellent marketing. I bet the patients made this brochure. I'm a smooth liquid and in no way dire, but place me in a lighter and I'll burst into flame. Manchester Lunatic Asylum. Resolution of the Manchester Lunatic Asylum Committee. Whereas recent instances that took place at the asylum and threatened the lives of many employees have necessitated increased security measures. Therefore, all security personnel are to change their keypad codes daily after each shift. Makes sense to change the entry codes regularly, though this really doesn't help me at the moment. Oil. Maintenance standards are high around here. I have to find a way to stick the handle back to the door. A lock on this display cabinet bears an uncanny resemblance to the asylum's crust. Manchester Lunatic Asylum. If your mind is in trouble, come to us on the double. After my experience with the asylum, I would say run away on the double. Medical symbol must have been nicked in all the chaos caused by Charlotte's arrival. Wind up doll. Wind up thing over here. Judging by the looks of this creepy doll, I would say one of the patients crafted it. Signet. Considering that poor Howard is deceased, he wouldn't mind me borrowing his security card. Order. Me. There we go. Thanatos. Alister must have sent his Raven familiar to watch over Charlotte on her mission. Well, I need to find the right key. Simple, isn't it? Finish rearranging the archive cabinet folders. They are a mess. Very important. Remember to change code after each visit. Or, very important. Remember to change the code after each shift. Yesterday's code still works. Also remember to pick up the remote control to the brain surgery model from the reception desk. Someone is trying to be a busy worker bee. At least I know that yesterday's code still works. The wire is too far in, and they are too slippery to be taken out with fingers. Unauthorized access recorded at 8:21 p.m. Play. Oop. No. What to do? This is how she gained access to the asylum. I hope she didn't kill the guard at the main gate. And this is where she found the shard. Unknowingly, the doctors made it so easy for Charlotte. He's still in the storage room. I can remotely lock the doors. This could be my chance to escape.
Well played, but you can't stop us now. Thanatos! Take this shard to Ravenhearst. Your last chance to stop Alister just flew out the window. You know locking me up won't foil Alister's plans. You're already too late.
That might be the case, dear Charlotte, but there is still time to catch Thanatos. I only need to get out of here first. So many layers of belts and padlock. A bit paranoid, Charlotte? A file in the cake. I see that some methods will never go out of practice.
Keep out of my bag.
Late. Private, aren't we, Charlotte? Or just hiding something very important here? What adult locks her journal? I better find those keys. Waste of ink. That decoration seems fitting for Charlotte.
What are you doing? Don't open that. It's none of your business.
My sister and I, when we were little, sometimes I'm not sure which one is me. One would think that in Dalimar's family there's no room for sentimentality. One would be wrong, apparently.
teach you that curiosity kills the cat.
Mother and father, a rather strange couple, I guess. Explains a lot of things about us. They would have been a dashing young couple if only their eyes didn't have that glow specific to Dalimars. I still don't understand who the mother is. I thought the mother was the maid. I know. Throw back to 13 skulls. Screw is missing. Instructions I need, but part of it is missing.
You're violating my privacy.
Privacy that went down the drain when you committed several criminal acts. Could this be memorabilia from Charlotte's childhood? Father was always a bit peculiar and had very strange tastes when it comes to bringing up. Rarity and strange tastes don't add up to lunacy and violence, but all of us make excuses for our family. Feeling ink. Alister Dalimar always gives me a scare, even if it's only a plush Jack-in-a-Box toy.
You can't even imagine the terrible things I'm going to do to you after this.
You have to catch me first, and good luck with that. I'm not falling for the same trap again. A drawing of the shattered ball of fate. If it had remained in this state, we wouldn't be in this mess. Madame Fate's crystal ball is almost complete, but one part appears to be missing. Fortunately, I know where to find it. It looks like a chance encounter with an old acquaintance is inevitable again. A battery. So much work to get a battery. Alright. Oh, I bet. Vacation countdown. Counting the days until vacation, someone must really need it. Well, only 5 days left to go. be skipping a beat. Apparently the ear can hold so many secrets. Guess the operation can commence. Fortunately, there is no brain to pick here. Alister's enigma.
Detective, you can't stop my plans.
Wrapped in riddles, the enigma contained Alister's plans. Maybe I'll learn something new. When I take myself beyond my dreams, my mind can see through reality's seams. There's a place of legend dwelling in deep, which only exists when I roam and sleep. Searching for the knowledge, dark and lost, I learn how to lift up my dream and pay the cost. To rupture the barrier between life and death, the blood of my kin must be spilt until the last breath. This case seems rather interesting, but I don't have enough time to satisfy my curiosity. Frank Robertson, the man who imagined he was a rat. The medical records of Charles Dalimar, insane and institutionalized like his father before him. Admitted to the asylum by his mother Abigail, his father is also a patient of ours. Charles is obsessed with creating locks, believing that will keep his pain away. Records of Alister Dalimar, progenitor of the Dalimar family, and my arch nemesis. Found in front of the carnival, semi-conscious and mumbling about the key, urgently transported to the asylum. Things this Alister was able to make, it's hard to tell if he's a genius, a lunatic, or both. Codes for the week. So this is my ticket out of here. I just have to figure out today's combination. Oh, would you look at that? The password really wasn't updated since Thursday.